switch us over to the main screen and turn on our sound. And we will get started in just a few seconds here. Now that I'm sanitized my hands, I feel like I can really begin praying. All right. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. We're gonna. Yeah, actually, we'll get started now because I see it's 6:30. So, Shabbat Shalom. We have some people who, in Yiddish, we call you Starkers, the strong ones who are with the Jewish community through thick and thin. We're glad you're here. Those of you who are watching from home or participating from home, you too are Starkers in your own way, less Starky, but still good. And we're glad everyone's with us. Hello, Shabbat Shalom. On this, the last Erev Shabbat of 2021, just hours away from the fun. So we're going to join together in singing Shalom Aleichem as we welcome ministering angels of Shabbat.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bakuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Zetchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Well, those of you at home might be thrilled to know that our congregation more than doubled in size during that opening song. So, welcome, Shabbat Shalom, to you all who have joined us and to you who are at home. We're going to light the lights of Shabbat. You can find that on page 2 or right here on the screen. I'll bring a microphone over here. All right. I don't know if you have hands if this one is working. Maybe not. Well, I'll just talk loudly. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen. Let's read together along with this reading you can find on the bottom of the screen, or those of you in the room on the screens here. The first mitzvah in the Torah is let there be light. So we are commanded, in everything you do, be a menorah, a bringer of light. Live with honor, act with integrity, do your work with passion, and the radiance of your deeds will live after you. May our ideals burn bright forever, unextinguished, and may we live our lives like the flames we kindle, always stretching upward, striving for the good, reaching for you. Jewish prayer is aspirational, and we will continue to aspire to be the people who we would love to be in 2022. Let's join together in L'Chadodi as we welcome Shabbat. We have a classic Nick version here, the Ben Susan version. And when we get to the last verse, we'll rise and face the entrance to the room.
L'Chadodi Mikra Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekavela L'Chadodi Mikra Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekavela זכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, ששמו תפארת ותחילה, לך אדוני לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך אדוני לקראת שבת, פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, 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 כי בעורף קומי אורי, אורי אורי שתדברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה, לך אדוני לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך אדוני לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
I'll ask you to please rise.
NYE Erev Shalom עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לך אדוני לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך אדוני לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. יאי לי לי לי, יאי לי לי לי, יאי לי לי, לי לי לי
We offer thanks, O God, for this Shabbat, which unites us in faith and hope, for Shabbat holiness, which inspires sacred living, for Shabbat memories glowing even in darkness, for Shabbat peace born of friendship and love. We offer thanks and blessing, O God, as we turn to thee, Baruch Hu.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice and you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Yalla lie lie lie, yalla lie lie lie, yalla lie lie lie, yalla lie lie lie, yalla lie.
Be seated. And as Nick adjusts his tuning here for Ahavat Olam, oh, that was fast. We're going to sing Ahavat Olam. You can find that on page 32 or up here on the screen. And this is a beautiful version that Debbie Friedman wrote many years ago. That's always been one of my favorites. And the whole idea about this prayer is to remember how central Torah is. And the love of Torah and the love of the Jewish people is to who we are as being Jews. So we'll join together in singing this prayer.
Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael. Amecha ata, Amcha ata. Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta, otanu limadeta. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shokbenu ukumenu nasiach b'chukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha uv'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki hem hayenu ve'orech yameinu uvahem negeyomam v'layla negeyomam v'layla v'ahavatcha al tasir mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael. Ohev Amo Yisrael.
We'll ask you to please rise for Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. You may be seated. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, V'chol levavecha, u'v'chol nafshecha, u'v'chol me'odecha, v'hayu hadvarim ha'elech, asher anochi mitzavecha, hayom al levavecha, v'shinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, v'shivtecha b'veitecha, u'v'lechtecha v'derech, u'v'shochbecha u'v'kumecha, Ukshartam le'od al yadecha, v'hayu totafot bein einecha, uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha, uvihish arecha, leman tizkeru, v'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'hitem kedoshim le'elohehem, ani Adonai Elohechem, Asher hotzeiti adchem me'eretz Mitzrayim v'hiyot lahem le'elohim ani Adonai Elohechem. Emet. On this, the last Shabbat of 2021, I want to ask if anyone has a simcha they'd like to share, either here in the congregation or out there in Facebook land. Anybody have simcha to share? Maybe we're just sharing them in our hearts tonight. Fair enough. Well, if you think of one, let us know. God willing, we're going to have a. Oh, you have one, Pam. All right. Okay.
Well, despite the fact that we've had great opportunity to see our grandson the last few months, we're not going to see him again for a couple of months. So we can be here.
All right, fair enough. We'll take that. It's good news for us, maybe for them and for you guys, not the greatest, but glad you've been able to spend a lot of time with him recently. So that's great. Thanks for sharing that. If anybody else has a simcha, you can certainly put it here in the chat. I see Matthew Sutton is thankful for his parents, and we appreciate that. We're thankful for them also. Well, let's join together in singing Mi Chamocha. You can find that on page 40 or up here on the screen. if you turn to page 43, I'm sorry I don't have this in the slide here, on page 43, let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai haparei sukat shalom aleinu, v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim. B'shamru.
V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat b'duratam, berit olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat b'duratam, berit olam. B'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat b'duratam, berit olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat b'duratam, berit olam. Yamim asah Adonai hashamayim ve'et haaretz. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat b'duratam, berit olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat b'duratam, berit olam. Ubayom hashvi Shabbat vayinafal, Shabbat vayinafal. Boom, 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 boom. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat b'duratam, berit olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat b'duratam, berit olam.
Glad we got one more of those in there before the end of the year. But luckily, we're still in 5782, so we have a long time to keep praying that prayer before the end of the actual year. We're going to invite you to please rise as we turn to page 46. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi agita hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, v'Konei Hakol, v'Zocher Hasdei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Geulah libnei v'neihem, l'ma'an shemo b'ahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Bezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh hakol atah Rav leHoshia, Mechalkel Chaim b'chesed, Mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim, Sohomech noflim verofech olim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha bal gevurot, Umidam melech, Melech memit, Umechayeh, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'emana tal hachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalalu chasela, Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. May continue silently with the Amidah or with whatever words are in your heart as we turn to some silent prayer before we sing together, Oseh Shalom.
Oseh Shalom, Shalom bimromav, Uyaseh Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Oseh Shalom, Shalom bimromav, Uyaseh Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Uyaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amen. Oseh Shalom bimromav, Uyaseh Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Ve'al kol Yisrael amen.
Well, Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi.
This week's Torah portion finds us near the beginning of the story of the Israelites. They've been enslaved for more than 400 years. And in this Torah portion, God begins to bring the plagues against the Egyptian people. We get the first 7 plagues in this week's Torah portion: blood, frogs, lice, insects, pestilence, boils, and hail. I think when any of us look over this past year of 2021, a year that was defined by this pandemic from the first day to the last, we have certainly contended with many plagues throughout the year. The virus itself, the mutations, those are central plagues of this past year. But other plagues, the plague of misinformation about vaccines and the plague of hatred between people who disagree, the plague of selfishness, the plague of folks not looking out for one another, and many more have hit us hard this year, perhaps causing some of us to feel like perhaps we'll never get out of the situation we're currently in. But along with those horrible plagues, there have also been blessings this year, and those are deserving of our acknowledgement as well. There have been moments of lightness and moments of togetherness, moments of true, genuine kindness, of people helping each other just because it's the right thing to do and it's what's in their hearts, and the gratitude that has brought us together. So as we celebrate this last Erev Shabbat of 2021, I thought it might be meaningful for us just to take a few moments and to review this past year, to maybe acknowledge the hardships that we felt, and celebrate the blessings and hope for a better future. So not to get too new agey on us, but I'm going to turn on the lights here. After my Peloton rides, I've been doing a lot of these meditations. So I'm going to turn on the lights. You can, if you want to focus on the light of the Shabbat candles there, they are glowing quite beautifully. And I'll invite you who are present and you who are watching at home, if you care to just, as you're listening to this meditation, perhaps close your eyes if you'd like, and just do whatever is comfortable. We'll start our journey through last year, through last winter, in January, February, and March. For a moment, think back on the chill in the air as the year began. Those first 3 months of 2021, a lot of us received our first doses of the COVID-19 vaccines, filling our days with hope and gratitude and a lot of Facebook posts. Try and remember how you might have been feeling at the beginning of this year. Where did you find hope? Where did you find healing? Let's just take a few moments to remember back to that time. And as we moved into spring and early summer, our country started to come back to life. Newly vaccinated people gave long overdue hugs to loved ones for the first time in a long time. People left their houses and even started traveling a bit. We got vaccines for kids who were as young as 12 at that time. Here at Temple in June, we moved back into the sanctuary for the first time for services. Though we bounced back and forth between inside and outside all summer and fall, we rededicated a sanctuary that sat completely quiet for more than a year. How did those early summer months feel for you? What were you doing at that time? Who were you missing? Where did you find hope? Where did you find healing? Take a few moments and remember back to the summertime. July and August, the hottest months of the year, brought with them troubling news as cases started to increase again. Where were you in those late months of the summer? As summer turned to fall, we faced another high holiday season that looked different than we anticipated. We missed being here in this sanctuary, but we also found strength and beauty praying outside and under the stars, even in the warmth of the sun. A little bit too much of the warmth of the sun sometimes. Take a moment to remember and acknowledge how you felt at that time. Where did you find strength? Where did you find connection? As the weather changed, bringing in late fall and the beginning of winter, we faced again renewed concern and heartbreak. Yet we face 2022 with hope that this will perhaps be a year when we can turn the corner. We pray that this year brings healing, not just of body, but of spirit and of our wholeness as a society. God and God of our ancestors, eternal God of all generations, may your presence in our lives in this new secular year of 2022 renew our spirits and renew our strength. May this be a good year, a year of peace, a sweet year, a year of health and healing and togetherness. I'd like to close this section of the service to share a poem that you may have seen by youth poet laureate Amanda Gorman. She released it on her Instagram a couple of days ago. It's a new poem for 2022 called New Day's Lyric. And I'm going to read it, and I'm going to hope that everyone at home and here can go and watch Amanda Gorman do it, because clearly I'm no Amanda Gorman, and her words coming from her are so powerful. But I thought this is a really beautiful poem and filled with hope. New Day's Lyric. May this be the day we come together. Mourning we come to mend, withered we come to weather, torn we come to tend, battered we come to better. Tethered by this year of yearning, we are learning that though we weren't ready for this, we have been readied by it. We steadily vow that no matter how we are weighed down, we must always pave a way forward. This hope is our door, our portal. Even if we never get back to normal, someday we can venture beyond it to leave the known and take the first steps. So let us not return to what was normal, but reach toward what is next. What was cursed, we will cure. What was plagued, we will pure. Where we tend to argue, we will try to agree. Those fortunes we forswore, now the future we foresee. Where we weren't aware, now we're awake. Those moments we missed. And now these moments we will make, the moments we meet and our hearts once altogether beaten, now altogether beat. Come look up with kindness yet, for even solace can be sourced from sorrow. We remember not just for the sake of yesterday, but to take on tomorrow. We heed the old spirit in a new day's lyric. In our hearts, we hear it. For Auld Lang Syne, my dear, for Auld Lang Syne, be bold, sang time this year, be bold, sang time. For when you honor yesterday, tomorrow you will find, know what we fought need not be forgotten for none. It defines us, binds us as one. Come over, join us this day just begun. For wherever we come together, we will forever overcome. I think that is a beautiful transition to our Misha Berach prayer, our prayer for those who are in need of healing. For wherever we come together, we will forever overcome. There are certainly folks in our community and in our congregation who on this New Year's Eve are hurting and are in need of healing. And I think all of us are in need of a little bit of healing as we look back on this past year and look forward to 2022 as a year for that. So on this Shabbat, we are thinking particularly of Catherine Adler, Marcia Ames, Marilyn Altman, Lynn Adams, Sarah Bates, Deborah Belford, Barbara Belford, Marjorie Block, Paul Branson, Lee Booten, Jack Cashman, Dave Sedarquist, Dorothy Cohn, Rob Cohn, Lily Kovitz, and Adrian Crawford. We're thinking of Rick Crawford, Taya Delano, Gary Dicker, Tony Diegler, Carrie Ebert, Sylvia Eckstein. We're thinking of Elaine Ellick, and Babette Feibel, and Michael Fiorelli, and Rachel Fish, and Olivia Glick. We're thinking of Jimmy Green, and David Haas, and Don Kurd, and Dan Lang, Peter Levy, Barb Lucas, Byron McGee, Angel Morero, Fred Martin, Minna Melton, Connie Minorovic, and David Minorovic. Caleb Moses, Dorothy Muncie, Dick Nettleman, Robert Oakley, Nick Parisi, Aaron Phelan, Ian Phillips, Aaron Plaskow, Rashi Pristowski, Jessica Rathkoff, William J. Reese, Barry Richmond, Zachary Rowe, Irving Rose, Danny Rothschild, June Sahara, Rolf Sauer, Susan Shermer, Barbara Schuster, Marty Schuster, Richard Schur, Lou Supowitz, Greg Vinoker, Robert Weiss, Maddie Wise, all those who are injured and are suffering in Boulder. We're thinking of folks who have lost homes and entire neighborhoods. And I ask if there are other names of folks who we're thinking of for healing on this Shabbat. Anybody have a name here?
Fortunately, I have a long list. Andrew, Erica, Isaac, and Kai, my kids in Connecticut, all have COVID. Blaze Perella was my teacher, has COVID. And Maddie Fireman, Maddie Crilly, and Marlena Fireman all have COVID.
So we are sending healing to them, healing prayers also to Dorothy Collins and Joyce Schwartzman. We say, Baruch Ata Adonai Rafeh HaOlim, blessed are you, God, who helps us find strength. May this 2022 bring us some strength that we need. And we sing together, Misha Berach, page 253 in your book, or right here on the screen.
May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. And let us say, Amen.
I'll invite you to please rise for Aleinu. You can find that on page 282. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula leotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kagoye ha'aratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol amonam, v'anachnu korim,
Umishtachavim
umodim,
Lifnei
Melech, Malchei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Bayom Hahu, Yeh Adonai Echad, Ushemo Echad. However brief may be our time on earth, O God, you endow those fleeting days with abiding worth. We remember those who died at this season in years past, and may take them into our hearts with our own. We're remembering those who death has recently taken from us. We're thinking of Bob Berkey, Barry Chessis, Sheldon Chessis, Kia Early, Paul Gurin, and Betty White we lost today. We remember those who died at this season in years past. We take them into our hearts with our own. We're remembering Bert Alper, Barnett Alpert, Isaac Barnett, Maren Bean, Alice Baring, Rose Blotner, Benjamin Cohn, Irvin Cohn, Doug Cram, Matilda Dreyfus, Pearl Feibel, Shirley Fewer, Lillian Halpern, Jean Jenny, Norman Kahn, Jay Mills, Dan Title, and Leo Weinberg. I ask, are there other names of folks who we are remembering this evening?
Sarah Serrani.
On behalf of all of those folks and all those who have no one to say Kaddish for them, we turn to the Kaddish prayer on page 294 or here on the screen. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyamechon uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kodasham b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim alenu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, alenu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May God send peace and comfort to all who are mourning bereaved among us, and together we say,
Amen.
Amen. We are going to call Bobby Kovitz, you may be seated, to give us a few announcements, your last announcements of the year. All right.
Thank you, Rabbi, and Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this New Year's Eve Shabbat. A couple of quick announcements. I will be brief. We will be back in the sanctuary next Friday for the January 1st Friday Shabbat, which will include a blessing for 2022. And starting January 8th, so it's a week from tomorrow, and going through the end of March, we will be having Zoom Saturday morning services with a Torah study. So Saturdays at 10 a.m., and you can find the Zoom code in the e-window. If you would like to purchase Maj cards, please do so by January 15th by being in touch with Judy Ankerman. And lastly, year-end giving is upon us, hours left. So if you would So if you've been meaning to make an annual PO contribution or want to make a contribution to one of TBS's many wonderful funds, you have until midnight tonight to do that and receive the benefits on your 2021 taxes. So thank you for your support and wishing you and your families a healthy start to 2022.
All right. Special thank you behind the scenes to Angelo for not only doing the camera and the sound, but you might have heard his disembodied voice doing some harmonies during the service. So thank you for that, Ange.
Always appreciate that.
Yeah, that's great. So why don't we do, you want to do a closing song and then Kiddush?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to do a closing song, Lechi Lach, and then we'll do Nick's fun Kiddush thing. All right, let's join together. Page 341 or up here on the screen.
So this is to a land that I will show you. So hopefully as we move into the next era here, and tomorrow it begins a new one for all of us.
Lechi Lach, to a land that I will show you. Lech Lecha, to a place you do not know. Lechi Lach, on your journey I will bless you. And you shall be a blessing.
And you shall be a blessing.
You shall be a blessing.
You shall be a blessing.
You shall be a blessing. Lechi Lach. Lechi Lach. And I shall make your name great. Lech Lecha. And all shall praise your name. Lechi Lach, to the place that I will show you. Lesimchat chayim,
Lesimchat chayim.
Lesimchat chayim,
Lesimchat chayim.
Lesimchat chayim, Lechi Lach. You shall be a blessing.
Shall be a blessing.
You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. Lechi Lach. So let's join together in Kiddush. I'm going to let Nick take over with the explanation of your joke. So here we go. All right. Oh yeah, Angie's gonna come and do some shtick, some prop work.
Would you like the mic too?
Yeah.
Okay, start sprinkling. So, think Guy Lombardo, okay?
All right.
And the one, and the two, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen.
L'chaim. It's raining up here. L'chaim. That's right.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lehem min haaretz. Amen.
Shabbat Shalom,
Shabbat
everyone.
Shalom.
Happy and healthy 2022 to you all. See you soon. Okay, nice bubbling.
Yes.
No, that's a giant bottle. Well, thank you, though. Well, if you want